All right, y'all, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to your favorite WMMA podcast. Let's cut the music short. It's CB9 at hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 178. What's up, y'all? It's been another week, another good, fine week over here, and we back in business. What's up? Of course, last weekend we didn't have much action going on. So, that kind of gave me a chance to chill out and just catch up on watching some fights because there was other fights going on that I want to talk about some non-UFC fights tonight, man. So I know that's gonna freak some people out. That's gonna chase some people away. But hey, we covering WMMA, man. Whenever I see some good WMMA fights, I see some good women fighting up in there, throwing down. Hey, I'm gonna talk about it. And that's how I do, man. I'm gonna talk about these fights, man. And last weekend we had a good card. As far as the UFC, the weekend wasn't bad. I was kind of chilling out, but at the same time getting some work in. So, I stayed busy. But I did go back and watch, I didn't watch the majority. I watched like majority of the card, but I did, take a look at the main card. The main card was crazy, man. I mean, y'all saw that junk, man. I mean, whew, man. Hamzat ain't no joke. Hamzat is not a joke. What's up, y'all? What's going on, folks? I see Lolita in the building, and BJ, Tiago, and Josh, and Brian, Axel. Oh, easy. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's up? Get with Candy and Marcus. What's up? How y'all doing, man? Yeah. 30. What was it? 308? Yeah, 308. Hamzat wasn't playing, man. Hamzat was not joking, man. Done popped some teeth out, popped the jaw out of place, man. It was like an action figure. You know how when you play too rough with your action figures when you were little, when you be playing with your He-Man doll or G.I. Joe and you just start squeezing that thing and it pop. That's what it was like, man. That was crazy. I was going with Tapiria too against Max Holloway. I was a little nervous though, because Max Holloway was putting that work in, but my man Tapiria, he is durable, very durable. And it was just a matter of time for that power was going to catch up. And yeah, man, DC and them, I ain't gonna lie, man, DC and them, they kind of jinxed him, man. They kind of jinxed Max Holloway because Max Holloway was talking, oh, he ain't never been knocked down before, or something like that, or like he ain't never been knocked down, or something to that effect. And boom, it happens this fight. Tapiria hurts him with that right hand. And when I saw him hurt with that right hand, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna recover. But nah, man, he caught that left hook and he was done. So I was like, they jinxed him, man. They jinxed Max Holloway, man. So that's crazy. But yeah, man, it was a good card. It was a good card overall, man. I enjoyed it. But like I said, there was no WMMA fights, but there was some good WMMA fights on this LFA. I want to go through. We had LFA. Our girl Melissa Croden back in business. What was it? UAE, Ares. So I had a lot of stuff to kind of catch up on because I was laying down, taking a little power nap today, and I was just going through some fights, man. And I was like, oh snap, UAE had a card. I almost forgot. Let me see here. Yeah, let's talk about that first. Let's go through some of these fights. I'm gonna let y'all know what I was doing this week, man. Just watching some fights because some of y'all be asking, where do I see these women? I mean, like they fight. Some people be asking me, where do I see these women? I'll be like, I'll be watching these cards, man. I'll be watching these cards. Like, if you got UFC Fight Pass, you're gonna see where these women come from. Because some people be asking me, oh, who's this? Like, I remember before people was like, oh, who's Tyler Santos? Where'd she come from? I was like, well, she was fighting before she got into the UFC. But some people say, oh, who is Manon? Like, why are you watching Manon? Who is she? Or like, who's Aaron? I was like, well, there's a place called UAE and there's a place called Invicta FC. So I'm just telling y'all, like, for some of y'all that don't know, like, because some of y'all are still like catching up. Some of y'all are new to the channel, but shout out to Marcus. Marcus know what I'm talking. BJ, he know what I'm talking about. BJ know where I be watching these fights because I be telling him about some of these fighters who to keep an eye on, and Marcus, he be watching these fights too, man. So it's only a few, they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. But I want to go back here, man. I was watching this fight, UAE Warriors 55, just so y'all know. This is where some of these fighters come from, all right? UAE, this is where Manon, she was fighting. She won a belt from here. This is where BJ's girl came from, Casey O'Neill. All right. Okay. This is where, all right. So I'm gonna fill y'all in. This was the last place Manon Fiore fought at. And I believe this is the last place Casey O'Neill fought at, UAE. All right. So this was strawweight. UAE just started an inaugural strawweight. So strawweight title. So I had to watch this. Valentina Escobar fighting Jacinta Austin. This is actually from last Wednesday, man. Like, Australia time. So sometime like that. It was like some crazy off time, man, because I didn't even know it was on. I believe it was like no, Tuesday. It came on Tuesday last week. So, yeah, it was one of those like Tuesday cards over in let me see, I believe Australia. Yeah. But this co-main event was good, man. This was a good fight, man. I like Jacinta Austin. If y'all ain't seen Jacinta Austin, she fought Josephine Knudsen not too long ago and lost. Who else has she fought? Maybe that'll kind of ring a bell with some people. Justine, let me see. She fought Josephine Knudsen. She fought Josephine Knudsen and UAE about a year ago. And she's fought for Octagon a few times. She beat Leilani Hodgins. I know some of y'all know who she is. So she's kind of up and comer to watch too. Oh, Josh, she beat your girl. She beat your girl, Lisa Kirikou. I will go ahead and put that out there. That's Josh's girl. Josh's girl is Lisa Kirikou. You know, I remember that. I don't forget. See, Lisa Kirikou is Josh's girl. She's also an Australian fighter, but Jacinta Austin got a win over her. So, yeah, this girl, I think she's pretty good though. If you ask me about her, Josh, I tell you, Jacinta Austin, I believe she has UFC potential. Maybe a couple. And this ain't me playing favoritism or anything like that. I went in and watched this fight and just watched it, unbiased eye. And I thought Austin clearly won. I maybe lost one round, but they actually had her losing on one card to this, Valentina Escobar. I mean, Valentina Escobar, she was decent. She came out striking, trying to come up with a striking game plan. But Austin got some nice takedowns. Austin, I think she's a pretty good wrestler. And I think she's got good submission defense and good striking. I mean, she switched up the game on him. I mean, she was taking Escobar down, then she turns into a striker. So I'm like, this is what we need to see. Like, this girl's well-rounded. She's got some well-rounded skills. So I thought Austin did a good job of doing a little bit of both. I mean, the first two rounds in this fight were kind of close, but I think this girl Escobar, she's more of a jiu-jitsu practitioner when she gets on the ground and she's looking for a submission, kind of like Alexa Grasso or something. She's down there looking for a submission. So Austin is more like Valentino on top, controlling and trying to smother, but she's throwing ground and pound. That's the difference. She was throwing like a lot of hammer fists in this fight. So I always thought Austin had the edge in this fight and was just like sweeping rounds. Then in the third and fourth, she was just like outboxing and out striking Escobar. The fifth round was kind of close. I mean, Austin was bleeding in this fight. Like if you look at the damage, some people are going to say Austin might have been losing because of the blood, but I mean, she got hit like a few times. Like she did get hit with some good shots, but I thought the fight was controlled by Jacinta Austin. Yeah, Jacinta Austin, she's for real. She could be in the UFC. Honestly, I think so too. Now that she's got this belt, when you compare her to some of the other strawweights, you might ask, like, why is she not signed? Like, no offense, like to Melissa Martinez. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna play matchmaker. If they sign Jacinta Austin today, you could match her up against Melissa Martinez, and I think she would win that fight. That would be a good first fight for her. How old is she now anyway? Because that would probably make sense at this point in her career, depending on her age. Let me see. She's got about, let's see, eight wins and 2 losses. Yeah, she's 10 fights into her MMA career. And she's 30 years old too. She's kind of in her prime. So I think, yeah, Austin, she could be signed. She could be signed. And if you match her up with the right fighters, she could build off of that. Like she could be somewhat of a talent, I think. I think she learned from that Josephine fight. You know, Josephine Knudsen, I'd say probably still has a style that would disrupt her, but it depends, man, because I think her striking level has stepped up and her takedowns are good. You know, she has pretty good takedown. I think her defense is something that needs to be worked on, though. But this was a good fight. Y'all need to check this one out. Jacinta Austin gets a split decision win to win the UAE strawweight title over Valentina Escobar. Good fight. It wasn't a split decision to me. I thought she clearly won, though. All right. There wasn't any other women fights on this card. So that's the only one I tell y'all to look out for. Jacinta Austin. Easy said I was son in the casuals. Yeah, you know. 6 at what weight class? 115. This is a strawweight fight. This was a strawweight fight. But let's look at this flyweight fight. Man. My girl right here, she was putting in work, but she got caught, man. She got caught slipping. Y'all got to check out this Ares FC 26. This was a main event. So, you know, the women, they be stepping it up. You know, they have a lot of main events on these underground cards, man. This was a good fight. This was Alexandra Taneka versus Jady Menezes. And this was for the flyweight title. It was a vacant flyweight title. Taneka, I know going into this fight, looking at some of her last fights, you know, she's a brawler. She's tough. She's got power. But this girl, JD, man, she has some skills, man. This girl, JD, she's got skills when it comes down to like her technique in her hands. And she was kind of disrupting. Taneka a little bit. But it wasn't really the striking. Like Taneka, I believe she's a good inside fighter. And I think she was kind of catching up to Menendez. If you see her head right here, you see that hematoma? Look at that hematoma, man. Axel said, I'm surprised you're following the Aries. Why are you surprised? Why does that surprise you, man? You are kind of new here. I mean, I've been on this channel for talking Aries for a long time, man. So I've been talking LFA, Aries, you know, I've been on this channel a long, you know, a good while now. So yeah. And you know, they're fights. If it's fights, it's fights. I'm gonna watch it. If it's fights, I'm gonna watch it. That's where these fighters come from. I mean, I don't just watch UFC. These fighters come from somewhere, you know. So you gotta know where these fighters are coming from if you're looking at talent, you know. But Jady Menezes, I mean, this girl right here, technique, won the first round. Second round, I had it going towards Taneka, but Taneka, her problem is her submission game. Sometimes she gets a little rough in there, and she gets a little reckless. So once again, in the third round, I felt like she was winning, but she gives up her back, and Menendez submits her in the third round. So, and I say that because I've been seeing Taneka's last couple performances, like not last couple, but like a number of them. I see a number of them, and Iana Petrovic submitted her. Y'all know who she is. She's fighting this weekend. So Iana Petrovic submitted her like a couple years back. I remember watching that fight by a rear naked choke, and she gets finished by a rear naked choke in this one. So yeah, this girl right here, Jady Menezes, she wins the flyweight title for Ares, and she's pretty decent, man. I like her technique, but again, like I said, with most of these women, they lack defense. They lack defense. I mean, going back to this fight here in the beginning, like the first round, JD, like you see this shot right here, she was doing a good job of like blasting her with these combinations. I mean, she was busting Taneka up with some shots early in the fight and landing nice calf kick. And she dropped Taneka with a calf kick in the first round too. Like she was chewing her lead leg up. But I like Taneka's like tenacity, man. She came after Menendez in the second round, and her dirty boxing is really nice. I mean, the way she lands elbows and uses her head, and then she's landing nice, you know, knees to the stomach. I like I like that inside fighting game, but I think she's just a little reckless, like Juliana Pena, when it comes down to leaving herself wide open for, being taken down. Because third round, Menendez, she's getting beat up, but when she finds that opportunity, she just like steps at an angle and makes Taneka step forward. And when she steps forward, she's, getting her back, and she's locking on, and she's on her back, and there's no type of defense from Taneka whatsoever. Like, she can't get her off. She wasn't able to get her off, and she got submitted real quick. So yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good performance. Taneka didn't used to fight someone with equal power than her and better striking skills. That's what Axel said. Yeah, I believe technique was on Menendez's side. I believe for sure she had better technique, but she just was too much of a brawler, man. Like, she was just too much of a brawler in there. And that's the one thing I say about some of these girls, even though they winning these belts, like, they still got to stick around and they got to work on their skills. Like, honestly, I would say Jady Menezes, I would still say, like, she needs some work. Like, Jacinta Austin, I could see her getting signed to the UFC out of these two champions. But the way flyweight is right now in the UFC, I wouldn't sign Menendez. I mean, what do you think, Axel? If you saw the fight, what did you think of the winner, the champion's performance? I mean, it was good. It was a good performance, but I'm not sure if it was UFC worthy. I'm still not sure if it was like UFC worthy of signing, because flyweight division, it's another level. It's another level, man. So I wouldn't say I want to go ahead and put her in. Like, Jacinta Austin, yeah. Strawweight, I think she could hold her own at strawweight. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think she was a little too one-dimensional, man. Like, she's just too wide open for submissions and punches. Yeah, Mark, she needs more time. She needs more time in Ares, or maybe jump to LFA. But, if y'all see her in the contender series next season, you're going to be like, uh-oh. But yeah, she got a ways to go. I mean, how old is she? Jady Menezes. I tell y'all to watch her. She's 5-1, Brazilian fighter, good technique on the feet. Oh yeah, that's right. She fought Anissa Mexen a while back, long time ago. She fought Anissa Mexen back to back 3 times in Glory Kickboxing, and she beat Anissa Mexen once. Anissa Mexen beat her. Then, okay, no, she lost to Anissa Mexen, then Anissa Mexen beat her. Then Anissa Mexen beat her again, knocked her out. So yeah, she come from that hardcore background, some hardcore kickboxing. So she's got some technique. That's where her technique comes from. All right. Victor, what's up, man? He said, hello, all. Hello. Yeah, Ares is a French organization. Yeah, belonging to Fernand Lopez. Yeah, the coach is Cyril Gahn. Yeah, I enjoy Ares FC, man. I've been watching it for a while, and I like it. It's always on at an off time though, like, so I have to like catch it, my days off, or if it happens to be on, I know Marcus might hit me up and say, hey, Ares FC is on. It might be like at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm in the middle of, running errands or something. So I'll pull it up on my phone or something like that. Josh said, aren't all these fights on UFC Fight Pass? These companies are still owned by the UFC. Yeah, most of them are. Most of them are. Cage Warriors, all of that. Only ones that aren't are like some of the lower regional organizations from from Brazil. Invicta FC is no longer on Fight Pass. I think it should be, but it's not. So yeah, I don't think she's ready for the UFC, like I was saying. But overall, that was a good performance. I'll go back and watch that fight again. Yeah, Ares FC they always have some good action fights when it comes to some WMMA. LFA 195, man. There was like 3 fights. Their broadcast for LFA 195, I don't know if some of y'all that were watching it was kind of jacked up, because I was trying to watch this fight here, and it sucks because I missed it, but I did get to see the result. I was trying to see this one girl named Leilani Hodgins and this girl Deanna Betterman. I follow Leilani Hodgins. She's undefeated. She's up and coming young fighter. She's like in her late 20s. I'm following her, so I wanted to see her fight, but the broadcast was kind of jacked up. I believe they only show like a couple fights from the prelims on YouTube. Then when I went to Fight Pass, this fight had already passed by, so I couldn't see it. I don't know. Did you catch it, Marcus? Did you catch this fight? I know I caught the Melissa Croden fight and the other fight, but I missed this one, this Leilani Hodgins fight. I wanted to see it because she won her fight by second round armbar, fighting this girl that was coming up on a debut. But I got to see the result. It looked like the girl was hitting her with some good strikes too before, submitting her. So I really wanted to see how her stand-up game and submission game was in this fight. But other than that, as long as it ended in a finish, that's good for, us fans, right? The next fight, Melissa Croden and Ashley Dean. I talked about Melissa Croden before on this channel. I talked about her, as a potential bantamweight that could get signed one day. Okay, you missed that fight. All right, Marks, he missed it too. But this one, I was waiting on this comeback here. I didn't even know, man, it had been a year since Melissa Croden was gone, man, because time goes by so fast, so much been going on in life. And, I remember she fought Jacqueline Cavalcanti last year, had lost that title fight. Then she came back and she beat the other girl from sometimes fights at featherweight, Katarina Lynor. She beat her like a few months later. And then I just kind of remember, I was like, it's been almost a year since Melissa Croden has been gone, right? But she comes back with a good win. And I seen, a change in her style. I seen a big change in her style here, good change too. Like, she's more of a rangy karate outside striker. But right from the jump against this girl, Ashley Dean, man, she came right out and, was doing a lot of cage wrestling and head control and head and neck control and just doing a lot of good inside fighting here against this Ashley Dean. She was using her strength in this fight, wrestling more against the cage, landing some heavy knees, striking a little bit from the outside, which is still good and decent with Croden. But I think she was just trying to work on her, next level, working on inside game. And she did that, man. She was landing some heavy knees to this girl's body and just tearing her up that first round. But then when she saw it in the second, I mean, she goes after it. She lands a head kick. And then she just, you see here, gets this tie clinch, just fires these knees off, and the girl drops from these body shots, and she's down. She's got her down, and she lands this heavy ground and pound onslaught, man, and they have to stop it. So I do like that about Melissa Croden, man. Like, she fights with some intensity, and she fights with urgency. I don't want to ever see somebody just go in there and get knocked out, but I mean, she finishes girls. I mean, all her wins are by finish now. So to me, that just kind of shows you she wants to mix it up. She's not just in there trying to do one thing, like just trying to submit you or just trying to knock you out. She's kind of looking for whatever your weakness is, and she's going to capitalize, or she'll break you down. Like, I do like that about Melissa Croden. She is kind of a fighter that likes to break you down, and then she'll go in for the kill. From here, man, I like to see her go for the belt again. Unfortunately, she lost to Jacqueline Cavalcanti. That could have been her, if Melissa won that fight. Of course, I know she probably thinks about that, but of course, that would have been her getting signed to the UFC. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. But I think with Melissa Croden's physique and her style, she could be trouble for bantamweight with the more improvements that she's making. She could be she could be a threat for the UFC bantamweight division. Definitely has the size and the strength too, and durability. I mean, that girl can take a punch. She can take a punch, and I think she has the size that kind of worries me about some girls that will go up against Kayla Harrison. Like, I'm not sure. Like I'm saying, I'm not sure yet, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to physicality, I think looking at her build, Melissa Croden's build, like she wouldn't be like a little tiny, frail looking thing against a Kayla Harrison, or like a Iana or Macy Chase on. So I think the more she develops and she grows as a fighter, she could be a force, man. Because let's see, how big is she anyway, man? Because she's got some size to her. That's why I'm a little worried. I wonder if she's one that has trouble making bantamweight. Yeah, she's 5'9", 69.5-inch reach. So yeah, she's a good size bantamweight, man. So yeah, to me, she could be a force. She could definitely be a force at 135. When the skills definitely catch up. But I definitely want to see her get a title shot at LFA before going over to the UFC. Maybe try to win the title next year. Contender series might be back around next year. She might be back around for that next season. You never know. Almost 29. Are you talking about Delphi? How you pronounce her name? Yeah. You think that's the best woman French prospect right now? Delphine? Let me see who's that. I gotta see her face. Delphine. Hold on, let me check that name. Let me see. Benoit. How do you pronounce that name? Oh, okay, yeah, okay, young 5-0 girl. Okay, still on the come up. KOF fighter. I'm just checking out her amateur record here. Who she's fought in the amateurs. Okay, yeah, she's got a lot of amateur fights too from 2021. She was right. Okay. She's been racking up a lot of amateur fights. I'm gonna have to check out some of her fights. This Delphine girl. Okay. Coolio Jackson, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna check her out. But yeah, Melissa Croden, man, I do like her style. I like the fact that she's able to go in there and get these finishes, and she's tough, man. Like I know when she was fighting Jacqueline Cavalcanti, man, she was in there like taking shots and giving shots, man, and like she was never going down, So I found that impressive, man. But I do want to see her make those right adjustments and along the way. Okay, this other fight. This is my girl right here, man, that scored the knockout last year. Marina Montero. Let's see. Yeah, did y'all see this one? Marina Montero taking on Kendra McIntyre. If y'all remember Kendra McIntyre from not last year, but a couple months ago, she scored that highlight reel knockout, a head kick knockout back in like April. Do y'all remember that? I mean, actually, do you remember that? I know you've seen that. Kendra McIntyre knocks that girl out with a head kick, and her body just falls apart, and she just falls down in the corner. It was on LFA, but it was like a viral knockout, though. It was a viral knockout. A lot of people have seen that, man. It was, yeah, that's it, Coolio Jackson. Yep. Katarina Lagaretta. Yeah. And that girl was, she was putting in some work. She had heart. She kept coming at her. They kept going and going and going. And all of a sudden, boom, that head kick comes out of nowhere. So that was Kendra McIntyre. But unfortunately, Kendra McIntyre was on the opposite end this time. She got stopped by Marina Montero this time. And again, same situation. I'm going to keep bringing this up. Maybe their coaches and maybe people that know these fighters are listening, but defense is always lacking with some of these young girls. I mean, I understand they want to go in there and they want to wear these medals home, when you get busted up in the face. Some of these fighters, they like getting hurt. Casey O'Neill says she likes to get hit. So some of them like wearing these things as badges of honor. But my thing is, you got to step your defense up. Like Kendra McIntyre, she ran into a lot of shots in this fight. She was wearing that damage in this fight. And Montero, she can hit. This girl can hit. Like the first round was kind of close. I like Montero's jab off the back foot. This girl can hit off the back foot, But Kendra McIntyre, she was putting combinations together. You know, it was kind of tit for tat. But again, like I said, Montero was the more damaging. She was landing the more damaging shots because, again, you know, Kendra McIntyre, if you're not sure and about your skin and how your face will hold up, you know, you give away rounds that way. You know what I mean? Like, okay, your chin might be good, but the more shots you take, come on, you know, the more shots you take, you're gonna get hurt, and eventually you will either lose the fight on the judges' scorecards because you the one looking the worst, or you will get stopped. And in this first round, like, they were so back and forth. It was kind of tough to say how that first round was going. I think Kendra McIntyre might have edged it out. Montero was breathing hard. When she ate some body shots, she was breathing hard, but she looked like she was game because that second round started when she cracked my girl Kendra McIntyre the right hand like this and put her on the cage and just started firing. I was like, all right, this is about it. This is it. But it was only a matter of time because Kendra McIntyre, she was coming forward the whole time, just taking shots and just trying to weather, you know, these shots. The referee, he had to stop it. And it was a much needed stoppage after that because she was just trying to take punches. She was just trying to take punches and take punches to give them. And that it don't work like that, man. Like, you got to make them miss and make them pay. You know, make fighters miss and make them pay. You know, you don't continue to try to give and take because eventually you're going to be taken. Eventually you're going to be taken all night, and that until the referee stops it. So, yeah. Yeah, Casey didn't hit. She didn't like getting hit by Lipski. I know, right? Like, you might like getting hit by some of these feather-fisted girls, but when Lipski put them lead hands on you, you was like, oh, snap, time to go for takedowns. I'm a wrestler now, you know. Coolio said, what about Zoe Nowicki? That's the young wrestler, right? I think I still need to see a little bit more from her because she just started, right? She only got one fight. I believe she fought for Invicta back in the summertime. And I follow her. You know, I check in occasionally and see how she's doing, but she looked like she got some skills. Like, she's got some athleticism, right? She's coming. Does she come from a wrestling background, right? I'm not really like, is it wrestling or is she coming from just straight grappling? I forget sometime when some of these girls, they kind of run together. I know she's a small, compact thing. You know, she's got some good athleticism to her. Is she coming back for next Invicta? That would be nice because Invicta's got a card coming up in a few weeks. Maybe I can see a little bit more from her in that, but I need to just see a little bit more for I can really kind of gauge where she's at off of one. Coolio said, yes, she has won all of her amateur fights and pro. Okay, yeah, she's only got one pro fight. Okay, so she's won all of them. Okay, what's up, Gabby? Gabby said Zoe comes from wrestling. Okay, she is a wrestler. All right. Yeah, I need to see a little bit more. I want to see what her striking looks like. And let me see, Zoe Nowicki. Okay, Zoe Nowicki fights November 6th. Okay, she fights. That's next week, right? Okay. I'll check it out. I'll check her out again. Yeah, she's still raw. Definitely raw at 1-0. Definitely raw at 1-0. But yeah, man, this were all the fights I was looking at this weekend. You know, there was like 5 good fights I saw, you know, so get that fight pass if y'all want. Check out Jacinta Austin, this girl Jady Menezes, and Taneka, you know, Alexandra Taneka. She's a good fighter. And like I said, they're good. Melissa Croden, they're all good fighters. But I would say Austin and Croden could possibly be more UFC bound off of what I've seen. The rest, of course, you know, still green and still working, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're in the single digits when it comes to fights. You know, that's just what it is. You got to grow. You know, no need to rush it, right? All right, let me see what y'all's talking about in here because I just wanted to get through some fights here. Yeah, Mark said that's why some of these fighters' career end early. Man, you ain't lying. You know, when you come in there with that attitude of, you know, just being gung-ho, but that, I guess that's some of these fighters' mentality, man. You know, they just want to go in there and put on a show and hear the crowd, and then go home with a black eye and show it off. But I'm like, shoot, man, that ain't going to work. Look at Heather Hardy, man, from boxing. she's going through some things now, man. It's hard. I don't believe Heather Hardy can drive anymore. You know, I got to put that out there because she put it on her social media. You know, Heather Hardy, I don't think she drives anymore. I think there might be something wrong with her vision too. I know she has brain damage now. You know, with brain damage, you can't you're not supposed to. You get your license revoked. I'm just, that's the best way I can put it. You get your license revoked. You're not supposed to be on the road anymore. You know, yeah, Coolio, you got to use better defense, man. Like, is as much as people hate defense, I mean, there's a fine line, man. I mean, I know what boring is. Like, nobody's telling a fighter to be boring. I mean, Valentina to me is not boring. Like, she still finds that balance between excitement and when to light her opponent up, you know? Because in the long run, yeah, these fights are exciting. I love knockouts, but I don't want to see somebody just like go in there with the intent to end their career a vegetable. You know, that's not me. You know, as exciting and caught up as I get in a knockout, usually I'd just rather see the knockouts come from mistakes than just seeing somebody go in there and be so reckless and just want to go after it. So I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, let's take a look at this weekend, man. This is what we all been waiting for, right? UFC. Is this UFC Edmonton, right? All right. Y'all ready for UFC Edmonton? Some of y'all in here, I know y'all want to talk about this. I am. Okay, so I'm going to put this out here right away. I'm not making any picks in this show this time. I might do picks later, but these are some fights that are really hard, man. They are really hard for me to decide because I just don't know how it's going to turn out. Like, usually with flyweight, when it comes to flyweight, I'm pretty good with my picks. The only, let me see, one the main pick I got wrong with, and I know was the Valentina Grasso fight, but eventually I got it right. Valentina, and I just stuck it out with Valentina in there because I knew eventually she was going to win. But yeah, the majority of my picks have been good with flyweight, but now we coming down to a head, man, where it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not making any picks in this show, but we're going to have some fun and just talk about these fights because we got 3 flyweight fights, and all of them are unsures. I'm unsure. You know what? I might put up my prediction. I'm going to take my prediction hat off this time. I'm going to take my prediction draws off, and I'm going to watch this fight free, if you know what I mean. All right? I'm going to watch this fight free in it. Okay? That's how I'm gonna watch this. I'm taking the prediction draws off, and I'm gonna just watch this card. How's that sound? I might change my mind now, but I'm already telling y'all now I'm not making picks on this show. If y'all want to make picks, of course. I'm just here to discuss the matchups. Okay, so first flyweight matchup we got on this card. But you know what? I'm glad too we got some flyweights because bantamweight and strawweight were really cleaning it up. Bantamweight and strawweight, they were really cleaning it up the past couple weeks, past couple of cards. I'm glad that we're back around the flyweight, man. It seemed like we haven't had like a steady stream of flyweights in a while. But let's see what we got. First flyweight fight. This one kicks off the card. Just so y'all know, this card starts at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is my time. So you do the math on that wherever you are. 5 p.m. Eastern time. You heard me? 5 p.m. Eastern time. So kicking it off with Jamie Lynn Horth and Ivana Petrovic. See this right here, unranked fights. I don't know. These unranked fights are just a little tricky because the question for me is, should Jamie Lynn Horth be a flyweight? Like I know she kicked her career off at bantamweight, but she moved down, took on Veronica Hardy and lost. She won her first fight against Haley Cohen. So I was like, okay, maybe this girl's going to be a force. You know, maybe this girl's going to be a force. Came in undefeated. I believe most of her fights weren't most of her fights at bantamweight. But I don't know. She did fight a couple at flyweight. Okay, yeah. I'm just double checking here. I'm double checking her career. 125, LFA vacant flyweight belt. Oh yeah, it was a flyweight, not the bantamweight belt. Yeah, so she is majority of the time a flyweight, full-time flyweight. So she moved up to beat Haley Cohen. That was impressive. Then that was impressive for Jamie. I forgot about that. Let me see. Hold on. 135. Yeah, okay. So yeah, she actually moved up to get into the UFC. She did something pretty challenging. She moves up to 135 to get into the UFC, beats Haley Cohen. So, okay, so Jamie Lynn Horth is back to her home. She's back to her home at 125. So, looking at these two style matchups, I know a little while back when I was talking about Iana Petrovic, I remember I told y'all this, right? When I saw Iana Petrovic, I'm like, okay, this girl, she's got potential. I was watching a few of her fights. I was like, this girl's got potential right here. But she was still growing. She was still growing. And that was like maybe a year ago. She had just won the Ares FC belt. She won that belt. And she beat my girl Taneka. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's got to put in a little bit more work, okay? But again, the UFC, they signed her right away, man. They signed her right after she wins the Ares FC belt, and they match her up against Leilani Carolina. And I was like, oh boy, this is a bad style matchup. Leilani Carolina gonna win this. Yeah, I just wasn't ready for Petrovic to be in the UFC yet, and that first fight showed it. She got her first win. She did beat Liang Na. I believe she beat Liang Na by this. No, she finished Liang Na. She did do that. Petrovic, I see her as more of a submission threat in this fight. She's got a good ground game. Still working on her striking. That's her lack, I think. And she's going in here against Jamie Lynn Horth, who I think is physically strong, has pretty good tie clinch, very good striking. Had her moments in that not Victoria, but Veronica Hardy fight. I think that Jamie Lynn Horth, she's long and she's strong for her weight. Because I do look at her and I do just kind of imagine her being a bantamweight, Jamie Lynn Horth, even though she has been, flyweight majority of all of her career except the Haley Cohen fight. 5'7", 66-inch reach, and she does know how to use it. Then you looking at Petrovic, who is 5'8", 70-inch reach. So yeah, Petrovic's actually a little bit taller and longer. So Jamie Lynn Horth is dealing with somebody with a longer range, but I still think that Jamie Lynn Horth, from what I've seen, her striking looks better. I think she moves around nicer. I think she knows how to use lateral movement, and she knows how to use angles from what I've seen in the majority of her fights. And if she keeps it, this fight could just be striker versus grappler here. Lynn Horth just has to use angles, stick to her straight punches and just stay moving. Don't give Iana any room to get a takedown on her, So I would like to see, I would love to see that. I would love to see Horth just use her reach and use her striking here. But at the same time, I like Petrovic, Let me see here. Just pulling something up. I would like to see Iana go in here and show some improvement in her striking, because I know the last couple fights, Leilani Carolina really gave her trouble. She really had trouble cutting off the cage. Like, she was really having trouble there. And I think that's what she's going to need to do in this fight big time. Cut the cage off and get that takedown early and try to look for the finish. But Jamie Lynn Horth, on her back, not a bad fighter, not a slouch. More of her game I've seen is more an inside and outside on the feet. But I don't think it's going to be easy submitting Lynn Horth. I do kind of favor Jamie Lynn Horth in this fight because I think she has a little bit more. I think she's a little bit more the type of fighter that is confident in her game plan and a little bit more settled into what she's doing. I think Iana, she's settled in as well, like with the ground game, but still something a little green about her. Like she's still learning. And again, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. But I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think this one will be good. I think this one will have some good I think we'll have some good moments in here. I don't know if it's gonna be a finish though. If the finish comes either way, maybe Lynor by a stoppage, maybe, or Iana by submission. But more than likely, I could see a decision going either way. But like I said, I'm not picking. I'm gonna just go in this one right now and enjoy this fight because I think this is going to be good. But if y'all got to pick, what do y'all think? If y'all have been paying attention to Lynor and if you have been paying attention, I think Brian said he's going with Lynor. Okay. What about y'all? Rest of y'all, Petrovic or Petrovic, however you want to pronounce it. Let's see here. What's up, Zach? Marcus said I got Jamie Lynor. Zach said he got Jamie Lynor as well. Yeah. When I look at Jamie Lynor, I think bantamweight, since she came in, I was like, it looked like her size, but moving down to 120, back down to 125, she finds success there. Definitely, it's not like she's puny or, like she doesn't fit in the division or like she's sickly or anything. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is a decent unranked fight. This is kind of what I've been looking for. I think what we all kind of been looking for when it comes to, these unranked fights, not just a slouch. You know what I mean? Like as exciting as the Wayne Kong Victoria Leonardo fight was, or how exciting the result was. I wasn't like crazy about it because I was still feeling like, why is Victoria Leonardo still here? That was one of the questions I still had. All right. Yeah, they both only have one loss. And that one loss is definitely not a bad thing because Lynor had some success against Victoria. Why do I keep saying Victoria? Veronica Hardy. Yeah, Veronica Hardy. Yes, Veronica Hardy, man. And her losing to Luana Carolina, that was kind of a given, man, because she didn't need to be in there with that type of striker. Not at all, man. So that's the unranked fight. Then we move up. Let's move up. Uh-oh. Ariane De Silva, a.k.a. Ariane Lipski, taking on Jasmine Jasuda Vicious. Let's peep these rankings. This fight right here is not really like a huge ranking difference. This ain't going to jump somebody up the top 10. It ain't going to jump anybody up into the top 5. I won't say it's a stay busy fight, but it is a prove me fight. That's what I'm going to start calling it. This is a prove me fight right here. It's still a prove me fight because, like I've been saying, I want questions answered. I need some questions answered. Like, I need to know how Lipski is going to hang in there with somebody big and pressuring on her. Like how much has she improved since then? Like since the Montana fight, how improved has she been since the Montana fight? Well, how improved is she now? Sorry. How improved has she gotten since that Montana fight, dealing with a big fighter or getting taken down by JoJo Molly McCann? I know she's improved her takedown defense, stopping girls like, not stopping them, but stopping takedowns like from JJ Aldridge and Melissa Gatto. But I want to see how she handles this rugged street girl and Jasmine. And, Jasmine, I need to see her improvements in her striking defense. I think we all know she has a good chin, but this could be that fight where she get dropped and stay down. So this is going to be a good one here. This here is a good fight. Ariane De Silva is number 13. Jasmine is number 14. Let's take a look at some resumes here. Like, I hate to say Jasmine's like a one-dimensional fighter. I think she's improving in the right areas. Like, her jab's gotten better. I think she's definitely got a good pressure fighting style. She's good at, using her strength, bullying girls. Hella durable. The girl is hella durable. Like, I believe her durability and her heart are her biggest things, though. But we all know that's only going to get you so far. That's not going to get you the belt. You still need some solid technique and defense. And I'm not sure if Jasmine is packing that right now. She's got 2 wins in her last 3 fights. Let's see. This year she beat Priscilla Cachoeira, which I definitely felt she was going to win that. Fatima Klein, I knew she was going to win that fight. I was going for Fatima, but I knew she was going to win that fight because, come on. We're talking about big girl and experience at flyweight, right? Tracy Cortez, I understand why she lost that. Miranda Maverick, I understand how she won that. She beat Gabriela Fernandez, lost to Natalia Silva. So let's look at the girls that are beating her, man. Like girls with hands and girls that know how to keep range. Because Tracy Cortez was boxing her up. Natalia Silva was moving and kicking and boxing her up. So Ariane Lipski's got the tools, man. Ariane Lipski's got the tools. She's got the talent. You know? I bet y'all don't remember that quote. That comes from my time, man. Like that comes from a movie. He said, "We got the tools, we got the talent." I don't think anybody remembers that quote. Yeah, Ariane Lipsky definitely got what it takes to win this fight, but there's a couple of like little areas that could really be, just subtle, in which she could just let something slip through the crack, and Jasmine could just come alive on her and just steal moments in 2 rounds. That's really all she needs, But Lipski can crack, man. So I'm just thinking, like Lipski, when she sets up her right hand and she gets her jab going, I believe she's got that power and she's got the leg kicks, and just the way she stops takedowns now. She has like an offensive takedown defense. Whenever you come at her, she's getting, she's stopping you right there in your tracks, locking your head up and landing heavy knees to the body. So I wonder, like, will this be a situation where she actually gets taken down, or will she have enough physical strength on Jasmine, to stop Jasmine from coming in, or will Jasmine grab the knee or take a few knees to body lock and take her down, So it's just a couple of those little questions I'm kind of wondering how to play. That's why it's hard to pick in this one, because I think they both leave enough room for error for the other to capitalize on and kind of make me, just smack myself in the face and say, "What are you doing?" Like I see moments like that in this fight on both sides where I say, "What are you doing right now?" You know what I mean? Like I think Lipski has more than enough to win the fight, but I could still see something slipping through, and I just say, "Girl, what are you doing right now?" Like I really think she's got the game plan. Chew that lead leg up, jab her all day, use the right hand, just fall in place with the right hand, and look to hurt her. Look to hurt Jasmine. You're not really gonna. She can win on points, of course, but you got to look to hurt Jasmine. If you got the power, hurt her. Like Natalia Silva, she was dropping her. I believe Natalia Silva did take her down too, right? Took Jasmine down. So, I think you just got to really wobble this girl a few times to, take her out of her mindset, force that mindset out of Jasmine. That's the kind of fighter that she is. Like, if you don't hurt her and you just peck away, she's going to keep coming and keep coming. And, if Fatima Klein could hit her and crack and land solid shots, Lipski's got the power. Lipski's got the power. I think Jasmine can actually match Lipski with the jab. Hers is long. She takes her head off the line and, she uses her timing. she could throw her off. Casey O'Neill landed some good jabs. Casey O'Neill did land some good jabs, So I think that Jasmine, she can land a few jabs in this fight too on Lipski. When she lands the jabs, she'll need to spin round after round. She need to take this girl swimming. Take her down. Take her down, man. So I like this fight. I like the matchup here. Because again, that raw dog and raw talent in Jasmine is what makes it hard for me to pick against her. Like, I'm not picking in this fight. It's hard for me to just say, oh yeah, she's about to lose, like what she has still keeps her alive, and she uses it well. I think she uses it better than anybody in the division right now when it comes down to like just going in there and getting it, just going after it. Everybody else, I believe they have that, but most of the girls, they have more skill sets than her. They have more skill sets to fall back on. But whenever she comes alive against some of these girls in the lower ranks, she knows how to she knows how to get dirty in there too. So she's got her opportunities. Lipski, she's got more of the technique. She's got the technique here. So we'll see how this one plays out. But what do y'all think? What is y'all's pick, Lipski or Jasmine? What y'all got before we get to this last one here? Because I don't know this one. I'm just trying to call this card Saturday and enjoy it. Alrighty. Marcus said he's going with Lipski. Okay, sounds good. You think she's got a decision, or you think she's going by like knockout in this fight? See, that's the thing. Like, it makes it hard for me to pick Lipski because I don't know if Lipski's got that. Lipski don't have that footwork like Natalia Silva. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna be moving. Natalia Silva's gonna be moving. She's gonna be hard to hit. Like, Lipski don't necessarily move like that. Like, Lipski's got the hands and the range, but once she's too stationary, she's able to get taken down and all that gets shut down. All right. Mark said he's got Lipski. Josh said Jasmine by decision or Lipski by submission. 6 said, yeah, Jasmine by decision. Okay, yeah. And we just stepping it up. You got the unranked fight. You got the lower level fight, the lower ranked fight. Each one's going to be good. Josh said Lipski's going to catch Jasmine arm or leg. Jasmine will get caught if she's not careful. I wonder. I don't know, man. I think Jasmine might have some good defense when it comes to submissions. Like, I don't think she's going to be easy to submit like Casey O'Neill was. I think Casey O'Neill, hers was a mixture of getting buzzed and reckless. I think Jasmine's a little bit tougher on the ground. Like, I think she's gonna be alive to it. Like, I don't know if Jasmine can submit her like that. I mean, I don't know if Lipski can submit Jasmine like that though. Like, I don't see her in trouble as far as get submitted by Lipski. That's just me. Like, I think she's gonna be a little bit stronger to handle on the ground for me. I think Jasmine is a little bit physically stronger and a little bit more rough around the edges than Casey O'Neill, though. Yeah, Zach said Ariane's opportunist submission artist. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be a good fight, 13 and 14 rank. So nobody's really going too far for that one. Okay, here we go. Last one of the night. This is the WMMA main event. Main event for the WMMA fans. Erin Blanchfield and Rose Namajunas. Ranked number 3 and 5, right? Yep. Erin Blanchfield number 3. Rose number 5. Good top 5 fight right here, man. I knew this fight was going to happen at that point whenever they kind of let it out of the bag over the summer. Erin was saying that both her and Rose verbally agreed to it, and they were just kind of waiting on details. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think this fight's gonna happen. As much as people wanted it, many people were asking about Erin and Natalia Silva. But I already kind of heard at the time Natalia was getting locked in to fight Andrade. So I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. So it was going to be this fight. A lot of questions I need answered, man. Like how I believe I believe Axel said it the other day, and I made my point to just say it's a dangerous fight for Aaron because Aaron, I don't know if Aaron has learned enough, but between, now in the Manon fight, it's had this been somebody that was like a grappler, a little bit more of a stationary fighter. And I'm not knocking Aaron here. I'm just saying, man, like have it be somebody even like a power puncher, like a big power puncher, a big strong fighter, with that lacks some of this movement. I think that I would definitely favor Aaron. But now Aaron is jumping in here with another striker. First time around, Manon, bigger, stronger, better striker. And now she's fighting Rose, who's not as big, but she's smart and experienced. And Rose can crack too. Rose has, precision. So, Rose can crack here. So this fight is interesting, man. Like, when I said Manon Aaron, I did give Aaron a chance, but I pretty much going to lock it in as Manon at some point there because I just felt like style-wise and size-wise, Aaron wasn't going to get that, and that was going to stop her. But here, I think when the size kind of comes into play too here, it kind of evens out for Aaron a little bit. Like, no, I don't want to see Aaron rushing in here face first, taking shots. But I do feel like Aaron could weather some shots, but it wouldn't be wise. Would not be wise for Aaron to go in here and take shots. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that their game plan and improvements have really involved like head movement and defense here. Not like to try to do this whole new 180 style of striking, and trying to box Rose, but just enough to get her head off the line and take Rose down or, break Rose down. That's kind of like my keys to victory in this fight for Aaron. I mean, for let me start with Rose. I'll start Rose. I think Rose, I think she's got more than enough, man. Like, I think she's had enough time to fill out now. She's had 3 fights at 125. One didn't go her way. She still made it to the end, competitive. She did beat Ebos. That was a good fight. Some people said Ebos won that fight, but nah, man, I thought Ebos lost that fight. Like, I don't know what people were watching. I thought Rose clearly won the Amanda Ebos fight. Like, I don't know what people were watching. Like, I clearly had Rose win. Not because I picked Rose, but I just thought Rose won the fight clearly. I thought that she was comfortably winning that fight against Ebos. Like, she looked the part. Tracy Cortez, she took Tracy Cortez to school. That was a for sure thing. She took her to school and made it look easy. And part of it was, I think, her growth. She was taking Tracy Cortez down too. So now we coming back 3rd time this year against, another dangerous grappler, dangerous jiu-jitsu practitioner in Aaron. So I think she definitely got more than enough. I think Rose's jab, Rose's body kicks could be effective here. I think her angles, her surprise takedowns, she could do a little bit of everything in this fight. Like, I really wouldn't recommend Rose to just like stay on the ground for a number of spells against Aaron, but I could definitely see like some clean jabs kind of frustrating Aaron here, and some good hard right hands kind of busting up Aaron to the point where Rose might feel a little confident and just say, all right, let me take her down. And, win around that way. That's kind of how she does sometimes. She'll outstrike you, then boom, surprise you with a takedown just to kind of mentally shut you down. And I could see that here. I think Rose, again, this is striker and grappler. I think her main gear should be striking. But if she felt like taking her down, or she felt like cage wrestling with her to show off her strength a little bit, I wouldn't rule it out. Of course, it's got to be in the moments when you want it. It can't be you being reckless in there when Aaron's taking you down, because Aaron's got a game plan to stick to when she's taking you down. So I think Rose has a little bit of everything in this fight to win it. She just can't take any rounds off. Like, that's her thing. Like, and Rose didn't really take any rounds off against Tracy Cortez, right? Or Amanda Ebas. Like, sometimes she would do that in the past, but I think she might have done that because of the weight cuts at 115. But with her being at 125 now, Rose might feel a little bit more stronger with that added muscle, and less of a rough weight cut. That's another thing people don't understand, man. Like, with this less of a harsh weight cut on Rose's side, it makes her dangerous. People don't understand, like, sometimes these weight cuts, they affect fighters. They do. Like, these straw weights, they feel a little bit more drained. Like Amanda Ebas, that's why she was probably a little bit more chinny at 115. But whenever she stepped up to 125, she was a little bit more game. So I think the same thing with Rose. Rose going to be up in here, trying to fight for 5 rounds. So Aaron's got to be prepared for that. I also say you made me rewatch the Rose Cortez fight. I was surprised that Rose was able to be strong enough to handle Cortez on the ground. Yeah, she was. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, with the takedowns, the strength, the weight cut, with the weight cut not being as rough, she was stronger. She was stronger for it. So Cortez probably wasn't expecting that. So I think the same thing could happen here. Aaron might not expect that whenever she say her vision is compromised, or she's just flustered or frustrated, Aaron, I think on her side, Aaron really needs to do them two things I said. Like, she's got to fight to break Rose down or take Rose down. And when I say break Rose down, she's got to go to Rose's legs and her body. Like, I feel like not enough fighters since Andrade have really targeted like Rose's midsection and her legs. Like, that kind of exposed Weili's IQ too. Like, Weili's IQ was kind of exposed in that second Rose fight. I know people gonna get mad. I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, of course, the first fight, she didn't have a chance to, really touch Rose's body because it ended quick. But the second fight, they didn't really like go to Rose's legs and her body. Like, you got to start chewing those, chewing that easy target up, man, because as fast as Rose is with certain things, her lead leg is right there. Her lead leg is right there most of the time, because I can see whenever Rose is about to set up that, little tricky right hand, little feint to the left, and then pop the right hand, she kind of has to sit down on these punches. That's why she dropped Cortez, because she's in that pocket just for a moment, but that moment when her feet are planted, you can hit that lead leg, and if Andrade can do it, I'm sure Aaron should be able to do it. So, I'm just looking at what Aaron is built like. Aaron's got a head kick too, Aaron be kicking high, she be kicking quick too. So I think she's got to really break Rose down in the midsection, in the legs, man. Because that's what I was expecting from Manon. Like, when Manon clinched Rose up and she started kneeing her to the stomach, and it kind of got a reaction out of Rose, I expected her to keep kneeing. Like, she kind of let Rose off the hook, and I was like, oh man, that was kind of disappointing, because I thought Manon definitely had the firepower to go ahead and end Rose and get her out of there. But maybe styles make fights here, and Aaron might have that type of firepower where if she fights in close, she can break her down, go to Rose's body and slow her down, and then eventually, take her down. You take her down, Aaron, man, I'm just kind of looking in my mind right now how Aaron gets that top control on some of these girls. And when she's, in charge, she's got your hips down and she's on top and she's putting that, trying to get that crucifix on you. She's like a blanket too, but she's working, so Erin is really dangerous. She's going to be reading Rose too, I think, when it comes down to the little movements. Like if Rose tries to wrestle, I can see Erin, looking for a neck or looking for an arm. You see how quick she did jump on Manon too. Like when Manon tried to dive in like that on her and Erin tried to lock that guillotine in on. Had that been somebody smaller, she probably would have locked that guillotine in. Y'all remember that first round, right? Like Erin almost had Manon when that she made that stupid mistake, man. Like that was crazy. Like that was a dumb mistake on their part. Like when she dove in, Erin almost had that guillotine. Had that been like a smaller fighter in neck, she would have probably got him out of there, So I'm just saying too, like if Rose looks to take her down, that's what Erin has to look for. Like Erin's got to look for submissions to me. Like, Erin got to get a takedown in this fight. She got to get a takedown every round and just shoot for that. Like shoot for beating Rose up, like as far as ground and pound, but don't play the technique game on the feet for too long. Maybe surprise her with a head kick every now and then. Because Erin can get the leg up there, like I said. So, don't sell yourself cheap either. Like if you see the opportunity, go for a head kick or a body kick, because if you go for the body kick, Rose might take you down. And if that's what you want, then set it up. So Rose might not want to take her down. Rose might not want to take her down. So that'll leave body kicks open for Erin. So, I think, Rose definitely open to be hit by Erin. Erin's striking is decent. Like she did touch Manon, and she did, bust up Andrade, and she did strike her way in on Tyler Santos. So her hands are tested. They are thudding. It's just like her overall boxing IQ and, the footwork ain't the best. You know what I mean? Like the boxing fundamentals aren't there. She's not that type of fighter that knows like how to get a full read on how to close distance, at different paces and different tempos. And it's really hard to break down. Like it's sometimes after a while it just becomes second nature. Easy, you know what I'm talking about. After a while, it's just really hard to say unless you actually got somebody in front of you to show them, Like I could teach Erin how to box, like for sure. Like I would love to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be confident in that. Like, shoot, I could show her, like how to close distance and, get that surprise element of a takedown on her. Easy said Rose is a very bad style matchup for Erin. Yeah, it could be, man. It could be. I think Erin's really got to play the physical part here. She's got to be a smart bull. Six. She's got to be a bull, but she's got to be a smart bull. And she's got to target that midsection. And look, I'm telling you right here, you got to target that midsection. I hope they have a game plan to target the midsection. I'm just thinking about it, man. This is a bad style matchup. It is. I think anybody in the top 5 and top 6 right now is for Erin, but you got to start somewhere. I think it is. Is it worse than Natalia Silva? Probably not. I think because here Rose, I think Rose a little bit older, and again, kind of questionable sometimes if she's in a fight, even though she does have the experience, of course. I think it's the fire though, because like Natalia Silva, it's a style thing too, because Natalia Silva would be trying to light Erin up, man, and she's out to prove something. Those type of styles are bad, man. Those are bad matchups. Then even Macy Barber, like 100% Macy Barber too. She kind of be a bad style matchup too because of the power. That's all Macy wants is that Macy want a chin to knock. Macy want a chin to connect on. So I think Aaron could win that fight against Macy Barber, but still, like, there's just too many opportunities that Macy could have. So all of these girls are dangerous strikers for Aaron. But this one here, I think she could win or even lose without losing a lot of dignity in it, if you know what I mean. Like, here, I don't know if she'll walk. Here, if this was like Macy, you could really get hurt. And Natalia Silva, you might get styled on. You might get styled on. But Rose can style on you too, but still, like, I don't see it as being like a dangerous fight where she might lose something. Easy said you still think Rose is weak in the gut. A little bit. I do, man. I do. I kind of saw it in that Manon fight. But again, like I said, nobody's really giving it to her there. Like, nobody's really targeting it like that because they either don't have the footwork to catch her or they just don't have the IQ to throw it there, But yeah, I still think so, man. I still think so. Sometimes it's just a part of the, some people's weak spot. Axel said, what should Aaron work on for you? For me, she should work on her striking to make her BJJ and wrestling less predictable, be well-rounded. However, it doesn't look like she's working on that. I really think she needs to work on that offensive, more of like an offensive striking style that can close the distance and not try to spend too many rounds on the outside. I think she needs to really make it kind of tricky where sometimes Rose might, or anybody that's striking might think that, okay, she's getting into a posture to strike with me. But then, she's kind of switching up her stance on you, throwing like a southpaw left and then closing that distance to get a takedown. So I really think her striking just needs to be like I was telling BJ before, like her striking really needs to be like at least like Curtis Blades-esque, where it's just enough to get you on the inside to get you where you need to be. Like, I'm not saying you need to turn into, Valentina overnight or something like, or even turn into Valentina, period. Just enough to get you what you need and where you need to be, Zach said Ebos kicked Rose in the body. Movie and theater lover. What's up? He said Blanchfield striking is mediocre at best. Rose has the advantage in the striking department. I think will piece her up. However, Blanchfield has the edge in grappling. Yeah, Wayne Kong will lay out Barber. I don't know yet. I don't know yet about that, man. What's up, George? What's going on? Good evening. Six said Rose herself, she doesn't do well with smaller fighters, so she'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, I brought that up. I brought that up last show. Well, I've been bringing that up for a minute. Movie theater said, I think the longer the fight goes, the better Blanchfield's chances are as Rose starts tiring out after 2 rounds. I don't think Rose will really tire out after 2 rounds in this fight because the weight cut won't be as bad, like I was saying earlier. I think Rose will be game for the whole fight. I don't think she'll tire out unless Aaron is really pushing her. But even then, like, since, she's only doing a 125 cut, I think, Rose will come in stronger than before. And I think she'll come in with more energy as well. Yeah. It should be a good fight, though. That's all I can say about all these fights. That's why I had to just come on and talk about these and actually thinking about just not even making any picks on because I just want to have fun with these because these are good. Who do y'all got, though? Blanchfield or Namajunas before I get up out of here? Before we close out this show. Yeah, I just want to be on for about an hour and a half today. Who are y'all's picks? I know it's early, but that's what it is. It's a Tuesday night show. It's supposed to be on Tuesday, so go ahead and put in your picks now. I'll give y'all a second. Hey man, getting a lot of spams here. Just checking all this, closing all this, deleting all this spam crap that be coming through on the phone. Okay. All right. Axel said I got Rose. Josh said he got Rose by a split. Drill, what's up? He said I got Rose. Brian said he got Rose. Movie theater said it's a close call. Okay. George says he's got Rose. 6 says he's got Rose. Dang, ain't nobody picking Aaron. Come on, man. Well, no, these are just picks. I mean, serious picks. You know, if you're going down the line and just being serious, yeah, there's no way. If somebody said I would be lying, and if anybody just said like Aaron's going to wash Rose or something like that, I'd be like, oh wow, y'all crazy. Okay, running ring got Aaron. Yeah, it's going to be a competitive fight. You know, Manon's daughters. You know, this is going to be a good fight. Manon's kids are fighting Saturday night, and should be a good fight. She's proud. She'll be proud of her daughter's fight. Really can't wait for that fight to be scheduled. Her and Valentina, though, man. All right, easy. So I got Rose too. Okay. All right, yeah. But there's always that possibility. There's always that possibility. Josh, yeah. You know, we just, you know, that's what we do over here. We always got to do that, you know. Dang, Tiago said Rose too. Tiago said Rose by submission. 6 said Aaron got to make it competitive because Rose is coming for that head. Yeah. Rose will target that head too, you know. So she's got to be ready for it. So Rose, you know, and you know, this is just trivial. I mean, it ain't really funny because they caught these fighters at different times, right? Because Aaron lost to Tracy Cortez, right? And Rose beat Tracy Cortez. And Rose lost to Andrade, and Aaron beat Andrade. But Rose did come back and beat her, you know. And it was all different periods. I'm just saying, like, they are starting to have similar fights on their resumes where you just kind of look at it. But they both lost to Manon. Yeah. And they never fought Macy Barber. Axel said, my only hesitation is if I don't know if Rose is strong enough to wrestle with Aaron. But other than that, I got Rose. Okay. Movie theater said, I do think Rose is too small to beat the best in this division, but Blanchfield is probably not that good. Now, I think Blanchfield is good. I think Blanchfield is good. Maybe not as good as a striker. Zama said Aaron's pressure eventually should get to Rose. Well, not if Rose's precision gets to her chin first. Because behind that pressure, it's got to be some striking behind it, and you got to shut that stuff down. Zama said, how about Tapuria? I told you. Told who? I picked Tapuria to win that fight. George said Rose's experience over Aaron's strength. Yeah, because it could be that too, because you know it's not like Rose is old. You know, Rose is not an old fighter. And I'm really, the weight cut is really, you know, the weight cut is really going to make this fight better. You know, I think on Rose's side too, it's going to make it a little bit more interesting too. Because like I'm saying, I think she's gonna come in here stronger than a lot of people think. Especially the way Tracy Cortez was taking her down, man. When she was taking Tracy Cortez down, I was like, oh, Tracy, you can't even wrestle with her now. This is over. Easy said Rose's takedown defense hasn't been strong, and over the years it gets worse with time. Yeah, but her takedowns are strong, and that's where she gets people. Like her takedown defense ain't really something to be worried about. Like it's more so her taking people down. Rose be diving in, taking some people down, and she be getting them. So um, I still think she has more than enough to handle. She ain't as lost as Grasso. Let's put it that way. Like Grasso, when she get taken down, she'll lay there for a while and just be like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do?" You know. She does try to throw shots off her back, but I think Rose Little still is still more game off on her back. I do. He said get worse with time though, man. Yeah, hey, time catches up with us all, right? Aaron just has to be the bully. Six said, yeah, I think she's got to be a bully fighter, but there's got to be some education to it, man. Like I'm telling you, Easy, she got to target that stomach, man. That tongue, she got to start. She got to target that stomach, man. She's got to. For two reasons. Because I feel like, I feel like Easy. I think that's a weak point, but I also think because you shouldn't waste time trying to headhunt with a better striker. You got to go with the target that's bigger, right? You know, you got to go with this. You got to go with that wide target that's right there. And no, I'm not saying Rose is wide or her stomach is big. I'm just saying, like any fighter, the body is there to be hit. You always go for the body. Don't go head hunting against somebody that's slick up top. Easy says she wasn't game for G Rob though. Jillian was her mother that tournament. Yeah, man, she was, man. Yeah, I remember tuning into that night, and I was like, oh snap. I was like, G Rob got her calling her mom now. But yeah, this is going to separate. It's going to do some separation here. Will Rose close out the year 3-0 at flyweight? Will she get her title shot? Those are the big questions. Will Aaron step her game up? Will Aaron surprise us? Will she look different? I won't say brand new, but will she look different? Will she be able to handle two-time strawweight champion? Does she got that experience? Ooh, the education in this fight. It's gotta be there. I hope she got educated for this one highly. I mean, she did have 7 months, right? Aaron had 7 months to do. Aaron's game to win this fight, y'all. Aaron's game to win. She could win this fight because she's coming in a threat anyways. Let's say minus the Manon fight. She was still a threat to Rose anyways, but during that period, that fight should have woken something up and made them work on something. Like, I'm gonna watch that Manon fight again, and I'm gonna see what Aaron needs to do. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna say, okay, let's see, like, what can Aaron do? Where does she have to get in there? Where does she go in there and win? Really win? Like, when does she make that attack on Rose? Like, if Rose loses, who does she fight next? No, I wouldn't say Grasso because that would be high up for her. Like, I think Aaron would fight Grasso. Aaron don't get no title shot off a win over Rose. I don't think. I ain't trying to be harsh. I'm just saying because you might want to get in another fight to get you back in shape for either Valentina or Manon. So I would say Grasso should be fighting the winner of this fight. Whereas Rose, Natalia, let's do that. Get Natalia that next best thing in the meantime. Because Aaron is in a position where went on a nice win streak. She lost to Manon, so I think it'd be wise to get like another fight in. Go on a little win streak of her own, maybe at least 2 wins. Because see, at least Rose, when she lost last year from that move up. She did put together 2, possibly a third coming up. That's how I see it. Yeah, Natalia Grasso, that makes sense too. I mean, that's the I really want that one. Honestly, yeah. I would take that. Unknown user said, I think Rose can get it done. Yeah, yes, she can. More than likely, she can. Thomas and Aaron doesn't need to change anything. Her regular skill is enough for Rose. Josh said 6 tons of matchups. Miranda, Grasso, Kong Wayne, Natalia Silva. For Barber? Or for Rose? Oh, for Rose? Wayne Kong? I don't want to see that. Wayne Kong ain't... Wayne, look, I'm telling all y'all right now, I don't care if anybody hates, but Wayne Kong is not game for top 15 yet. She fighting Gabriela Fernandez next, okay? Which is who she should be fighting. She don't need to fight no Rose. She ain't done nothing to earn no Rose fight. She ain't even done enough to earn an Andrade fight. All right, Kong Wang, she's fun. She's fun, okay? She's fun with the Joker makeup and all that. But hey, when the makeup comes off, hey, you got to be fighting a real fight. You got to fight the ones that's in your area. But when that makeup come off, you want to jump in there early with Rose, you can get pieced up. But Rose right now, going to knock out or submit Kong Wang. I'll put that on record right now. Rose right now knocks out Wang Kong. How y'all like that? And that ain't starting no trouble. That's just being honesty. Wang Kong knocks out Rose knocks out Wang Kong right now if they fought. Or she chokes her out. You know that happens. George said Kong should fight in the bottom 15. She fighting an unranked fighter like she's supposed to be. She fighting Gabriela Fernandez. She only the highest she need to get. The highest she need to get is Casey O'Neill, and that's about it. Rose knock her out. Rose is gonna knock her out. Come on now. Then y'all be mad. Well, even if she don't knock her out, I'll be nice. She would choke her out. Y'all believe in her stand up so much without it being tested. I'd say Rose would turn into a submission artist and stop her, choke her out before she can even tap. Because you know why? There's levels to it. There's levels to the game. That would happen first. That would happen. Hit that like button if you disagree with me or agree with me. It's true. But dang, man, y'all ain't nobody picking Rose though, man. I mean, ain't nobody picking Aaron. Shoot. Just Rini and Zaman. That's it. And come on, Easy. Let me ask you. I know Easy E gonna be real with. Come on, Easy. Now Easy E. If Rose and Wayne Kong fought now, who's winning that fight, and more than likely Rose would put her to sleep. Maybe not on the feet, but we know she would put her to sleep on the ground. Axel said, "I agree. Give Wayne Kong someone, give her some time to level up before you give her a big fight. Because the minute she go in there and lose, y'all gonna jump off that train and leave that girl. Y'all gonna leave her behind. Y'all gonna be like, oh, Wayne Kong ain't jack. She ain't nothing. I'm about, well, y'all the one forced her up in there. Y'all the one hyped her up. Unknown user said Rose via second round submission. Exactly. She getting put to sleep. She getting put to sleep right now. Ain't nothing to back on. Ain't nothing she done right now to make me vouch for her being in trouble. At least when I seen Tyler Santos fight her way up, I did say, okay, she'll be a tough fight for Valentina. I didn't go crazy like y'all say, oh, she gonna beat Valentina. Even BJ thought I was crazy for not picking Tyler Santos to beat Valentina. I knew she was gonna give Valentina a hard time, but I told him I'm still not sure. I was like, I'm not sure. And lo and behold, Valentina had a hard time with Tyler. Some people think Tyler won. I could argue she might have won, but she had to go through the process first before I actually said, like, oh yeah, she'd be some type of trouble. But even if I did see some trouble, I wasn't like, oh, she gonna win. You know, I'm trying to understand. Wayne Kong knocks out Victoria Leonardo, a fighter that we all once agreed didn't deserve to be in the UFC anymore. Shout out to Victoria Leonardo. She is fighting on the Invicta card in a couple of weeks, but we all agreed, right, that Victoria Leonardo didn't need to be in the UFC. But now, when Wayne Kong knocks her out, y'all must be saying Wayne Kong just knocked out a pound for pound great. You know, the way y'all saying she could beat Rose and just get the belt. Easy said Rose would teach Kong what angles do. Exactly. She break out that protractor on her. She got the protractor on her feet, man. She gonna be showing her some real geometry, man. She gonna put that geometry on her, boy. She gonna say, hey, look at this. You see this angle? Then right there, knocked out, gone to sleep. Zaman, I was never on it. I'm never going to jump on it. I wouldn't sell peanuts on your bandwagon. How you like that? I wouldn't sell peanuts on your hype train. Wayne Kong been good on the feet. She been working on her ground game and submission skills before she decided she was ready for the UFC. Okay. Still ain't tested. Y'all know what I always say. You still need the resume. You still need the fighters behind it. You can work on your stuff all day, but if you ain't got the fighter, if you ain't got the fights on your resume, uh-uh. Josh said I'm eating our words. We'll see about that. I don't think so. I know one thing y'all ain't eating is peanuts because I ain't selling them to you on your hype train. Bloodthrone said, do you think she beats Andrade? Do I think she beats Andrade? Honestly, it's possible. It's possible. But I ain't even gonna give you a hard yes on that because I just need to see something. I need to see a little something. It's possible. It's possible. Blood Throne. That one is possible because Andrade's IQ is just not getting up to par. And I will give Wayne Kong credit on how she turns her punches over. The way she turns those shots over, Andrade runs into him. Andrade, speaking of eating, Andrade eats those things, and she can't eat them things at 125 all night. So I would say that is an opponent she could beat. But even then, I would like to see her fight Montana De La Rosa first. I want to see if she can get up from that fight or keep Montana De La Rosa off her. If you can stop Montana, even on this level, I know Montana's only been finished, she got finished by Tatiana Suarez. And she has gotten pieced up before, but still, how you look against that level? I still need to see something. I'm sorry. Yeah, Andrade's about done. So yeah, that could be a fight she could win. Easy said, I love a good shelled peanut. I like almonds. I like pecans and almonds. Todd, what's going on, man? Todd said excellent point about a fighter's resume. Yeah, you gotta have that resume. Six says she got Jan on her corner too. Oh, she does? Okay. All right. Can't believe y'all think Wayne Kong would beat Rose, but y'all don't think Jan could beat Tabitha Ricci though. Like, I'm just saying too, like, off his skill sets. Like, some of y'all think Tabitha Ricci is gonna beat Wayne Kong. Tabitha Ricci is gonna beat Jan Janan. Sorry. Y'all think Tabitha Ricci is gonna beat Jan Janan, but you think Rose can't beat Wayne Kong. Come on. I'm, maybe I need to put my head on backwards to understand this. Let me see if I can yank my head off and put it on. And maybe if I put my head on upside down or backwards, I'll understand what y'all are talking about. Marcus said that Wayne Kong Kool-Aid is too sweet for me. No, it's got that what's his name? Jim Jones poison in it. That's why I ain't drinking it. I'm telling y'all, look, y'all drink that Kool-Aid, y'all gonna be laid up like he had that weirdo had them. G Frame Pistachio Gang in the building. What's up, G Frame? He's got the pistachios. You know what? I never really had pistachios. I'll try them out. I'll try them out. I'll try some pistachios out. I like chia seeds. Kong is, oh boy. Zama said Kong is 10 times better than Jan. You lucky you ain't got a wrench for me to take, man, because I would snatch that. I would snatch that thing just like Rose would snatch Wayne Kong's neck. Man, you would get that thing snatched like Rose snatching Wayne Kong's neck. The MMA math ain't adding. I'm telling you, Brian, put your head on backwards. Pull your head off, put it on backwards, and you'll see everything clearly. I promise you. G Frame said laying in the bunk beds in the Nikes Cortez. Oh, hold up, bro. At first, I thought G Frame said he was laid up with Tracy Cortez. Oh, I was like, whoa, okay, G Frame. I thought G Frame had it made for a second. He was lazy. He said laying in the bunk beds with Tracy Cortez. Oh man, Jan is more of that Western support for Kong. Josh said Jan and Kong will still call Whaley mom. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you, Josh. Yeah, the one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You drink that Kool-Aid, you gonna be laid out, man. You gonna be laid out in that bunk bed. Yep. They sure were, man. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. It was up in there, yep. Oh man. But it's it's all good. I mean, hey, I definitely want to see Wayne Kong excite this division. Look, there's gonna be some nice fighters up in the next few years, and I want to see them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay Wayne Kong. I'm just not trying to up player as high as most people are. One knockout just don't do it for me, man. Even after this fight with Gabriela Fernandez, I'm gonna still be a little bit hard and say I need to see some more. Do I like Wayne Kong? Yeah, of course. Did I ever say I didn't? But I know what happens if you put somebody in there too early, man. I ought to do a video on this talk just to see who gets mad at me. Bloodthrone said Wayne Kong versus Tracy Cortez would be great. Now, you know what? See, just to show you, you know what? I'm not that mad at that fight. Wayne Kong versus Tracy Cortez is actually not that bad. They did do Fatima Klein versus Jasmine. See, that's why he has WMMA in his name, because he know what he's talking about. I agree with that. Like, that's not a bad one. That really ain't that bad. Like, if you wanted to put her in there, you put her in there with somebody that can wrestle. And their hand game is okay. Not too bad, but ain't shabby either, against an unranked fighter. But yeah, Tracy Cortez is number 12. And she's got a little, like I said, Tracy Cortez got the style. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I said Casey O'Neill. Like, I think Casey O'Neill is one, but Tracy Cortez wouldn't be a bad name. Like if they did that, yeah. But when y'all start talking Valentina and Rose and anybody higher, no. I can't agree with them names. Mark said Wang Kong got to do something other than knocking out a fighter that some people call a can. Right. I mean, that's it right there. I mean, that's what you said, right? That's it. Somebody that you weren't behind before gets knocked out. No. And you can't tell me it was how it was done because the person is not that wasn't bringing that level to him. Josh said, give her Casey O'Neill. She's asked for. Yeah. After this Gabriela Fernandez fight, if she wins this fight, right? She didn't win this fight coming up. That's December, right? Is she on the card with Yan Janan? She's on the card with Yan Janan, right? Wang Kong. Let's see. Wang Kong is taking on Gabriela Fernandez November 23rd. Oh man, that's pretty close. That's right around the corner. I think I'm off that night too, so I ain't got much going on, so I might jump on for that. Yeah, because she's on the Jan Ricci card. Yeah, she's on the Jan Ricci card. Okay. Yeah. 6 said give Kong that gatekeeper Andrade. Well, after she if she beats Gabriela Fernandez, she need to get that Casey O'Neill fight or Cortez fight. Bloodthrone said, do you think Jan and Ricci make sense? Personally, I don't think it makes sense. I really don't. I think it's kind of a high jump. Ricci Lemos makes more sense for me. But yeah, Ricci Lemos makes more sense for me. Ricci Lemos or Ricci, Marina just fought. Amanda Lemos versus Ricci would make more sense because, she was coming off a loss. Amanda Lemos was. That would make more sense. But Jan actually could have been fighting Verna. Jan could have actually been fighting Verna, in my opinion. Marcus said, give Wang a ranked fight within the top 15. She finishes or dominates Gab. Yeah, if she dominates one of them, then you can give her like low 15. Give her one of them 3. I say you give her the loser of Lipski Jasmine, Casey O'Neill, or Tracy Cortez. And that's if she goes in here, sparks Gabriela Fernandez. But if she come in here getting drowned a little bit or even getting knocked down a few times by Gabriela Fernandez, you give her Montana or somebody. Oh, Robot Chicken, what's going on, man? I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute. He said, yo, Kyle, can't wait to hear the excuses when Manon sparks Valentina. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a good fight. I think that will turn out to be a good, it's going to be a chess match at times, but I think it's going to be a good fight. Now, that is a fight that makes sense now. Manon earned it, and it's going to be a good, I think, showing the technique there. Because even if Wang Kong did fight her way up now, I mean, like, you still got to show something different, man. Because she fought, who did she fight? Yeah, Lemos Jan is a good fight. Wang, fighting her in kickboxing or whatever is still different than fighting Valentina in MMA. Valentina still got a lot of tools to her, so it wouldn't be wise for them to try to build up a fight with Valentina right now. This girl on her own mission. Robot said, yo, Axel, everyone and their moms are underestimating Manon. Yeah, actually, everybody did, for the most part, pick Aaron and they picked Rose to beat Manon, but you see who won. Speaking of moms, Manon is their mom now. Axel said, we haven't seen the ground game in wrestling in Wayne Call. No, we haven't. We have not. But when is this Tatiana fight, man? Like, when is Tatiana? So I'm checking sporadically, when I get a chance. It's off. Yeah. Not Valentina. Tatiana and Verna looks to be canceled. So I hope we can move on from that, I hope that Verna gets a fight. I hope Verna gets her shot too here now, because I think she's ready for it. So, Robot, who you got in this upcoming fight between Aaron and Rose? Who you got? Robot? I know you came in kind of late. Who do you got? Jasmine versus Lipski. I'm throwing these names at you. Who you got before I get out of here? All right, make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all had fun discussing some WMMA talk along with some crazy talk. Y'all know what the crazy talk was. Six said Tatiana ain't fighting. No, she ain't. Unfortunately. Oh man, yeah, man. It is almost 9:30 here. Decided to stay on a little bit longer, do a 2-hour show here, and since it's been almost a week, just cover some things. But yeah, it was a lot of good fights this past week, man. I enjoyed the fight week, when it comes down to all these other organizations. Yeah, Axel, I enjoy Ares. I enjoy LFA. I enjoy all of these different organizations, man. Because then, they come on at different times. So it's not like I have to sit around and wait for fights. Whenever UFC comes on, I got to wait till Saturday. At least Ares comes on Wednesday, or UAE comes on Tuesday. And I get some fights to watch during the week. Yeah, East Coast. It's 9:30. I'm Eastern time here. So this UFC Fight Night card starts my time, 5 p.m. The main card starts at 8 my time. So make sure y'all know it's starting a little bit more early, which is good. So I get up off here earlier. Yeah, Marks, I enjoy other WMA as long as it's not power slap. Exactly. Speaking of power slap, man, what is wrong with Paige, man? Has Paige not suffered enough damage from just regular MMA, combat sports? Like, why not just box? Why not just box? Why not just go back to MMA? Is power slap really paying? But that's the thing, man. Like, power slap, they probably paying you that much money because they know you're not going to live that long. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying, like, they'll pay you like a big grip of money because it's going to go to your funeral expenses and your hospital visits. I mean, I don't want to know the nicer way to say it. I'm just saying. Because what I know, fighting in combat sports brings on CTE and all of that, and brain damage, but there's still a fighting chance. That's why it's called fighting. But when you power slapping, you basically power killing. You say, how many slaps I can take before I turn into a rutabaga? How many more slaps can I take before I turn into a head of lettuce? They really want to do that. Like, and Paige, like, young, still looks good. Why do you want to throw yourself away doing that? Like, there's going to be a lot, there's going to be a lot to pay when you do that. Like, you want to put your husband through that of having to feed you in a straw and things like that at an early age? And I'm just saying, like, this is the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Like, I know, again, it could come with fighting, but still, like, you literally, going in there, telling that person, take some years off my life. With every slap you take, every hit you take, right there, clean in the face. Because what was that one guy said? His face went numb for a day or so. Had to go to the ER. You know, why would you put yourself through that? And that's why I said, like, if she went back to LFA, if you just wanted to fight, like, I know there's no money in LFA like that, but is the power slap money that good that you want to just let somebody slap you? I ain't no amount of money I'm gonna let somebody slap me. You know, I don't care. Like, you could offer me $2 million to take on somebody in my weight class with slaps, or somebody smaller than me, and I still wouldn't do it. I still would not do that crap. That's what I'm just saying. Like, where's her mindset at right now, as far as like moving her body like a market? And again, like, this ain't to put somebody down. I'm just saying, like, what you're doing is damaging when you ain't got to do it. You know, Paige, you know, she does the OnlyFans thing, selling her body in that way, and now she's selling her body in another way that just seems so harmful. You know, it just seems so crazy. Like, why put yourself through this? I'm surprised, you know, she's married, right? I'm surprised her husband thinks that's okay. Maybe he don't want to argue with her. Maybe he don't want to argue with her about it. I don't know. I know when it comes down to it, it ain't my business, but I'm just saying, like, when you hear about this person dying, or when you hear about them getting CTE, are we supposed to feel sorry for them? That's the question. You know how we always see online where people, they start talking about people, oh, they did this, they did that, they were good, but how good were they if they chose to intentionally get slapped to death, or just go in there and take the punishment like that? That's all I'm saying. Like, think about it. I hate to end it on that note, on a dark note, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't see the logic in power slap for, you know, nice looking woman who is already making a lot of money, you know, doing her OnlyFans thing. And, you know, even that, you know, you kind of have to question at some point, like, when are you going to stop doing that? Right. That's when you kind of see money running people. I ain't trying to preach or, you know, be on a high horse. I'm just saying that's like an example of whenever the money starts to run people. You start to let the money run you. Money starts to run you whenever you just do anything for it. Because she don't need to be doing that, really. Like, why? Oh, I get paid more than UFC ever paid me. It's better than MMA. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, Marcus, that's what it'll lead to. That's what it will lead to. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen him up that. I haven't looked at him that close. I haven't seen his tattoo on his neck. G Frame said, my guess is Paige made a lot of money early on her OnlyFans. She probably spent a lot of it thinking it wouldn't change, and now maybe she needs some quick money. Still, man, that you ain't even gonna be able to use the quick money. That's the thing. Like, how you gonna be able to count the quick money or the money you make when you can't even see? You know? I just don't like power slap. I just don't like it. Gabby said early pick on Dakota versus Santos. Early pick, just like an early look. I'm still leaning towards Santos a little bit, just because of her ground game and her experience, you know, her strength. I think she can get Dakota down, but I'm really questioning, like, her gas tank and her defense, and like how well is her face to take a few of these Dakota punches. So, man, as time goes by and looking at performances and, like I said, growth, kind of lean towards Dakota. I kind of lean towards Dakota a little bit. I do. Things could change in the next month, but like early pick, like, I kind of lean towards Dakota right now. After just doing a little bit of study on my own, you know, and just looking, I kind of lean towards Dakota at the moment. Oh, that Stockton slap, man. Man, Robot C taking Dakota too. Okay. Hold on. Somebody asked me a question while I was talking. Hold on. Robot said, "Comma, do you think Val should get an instant rematch if she loses to Manon?" I don't think so. I don't think the UFC would want to do rematch again. They wouldn't want to see this thing drawn out. So yes, Valentina's done a lot, but I don't know, man. Like, if I don't think it would be good UFC wise. Like, I think you got to keep the division going, Robot Chicken. Like, I think the first time when Grasso beat her, it was something nobody's ever done before. But with the way that trilogy drew out, and they're still 1-1-1-1-1, right? 1-1-1. It kind of held up the division, you know. So I think if Manon wins, you got to keep it moving. We got to move on, you know. That's how it's supposed to go. Valentina got her shot for redemption. She got it. That's what she's supposed to get. She's still one of the best fighters, but I'm just saying, like, if Manon happens to beat her and say she does it convincingly, I think Manon deserves to move on and defend against some of these other girls, because there's a lot of other girls that are on win streaks right now, and you're going to hold the division up. That's my honest take. I would move on from it. I'd move on from it and say, give Manon whoever's next in line, whether it be Rose again. Now, that's a rematch that could happen. Because, see, you're already about to do another rematch. Like, say if Rose fights her way back to the top, you might have to fight Rose again. And that would be a rematch that I would see as more plausible. But you got Natalia Silva, you know, so the division's got to keep going. It's got to keep going. And you can't give somebody a rematch every time. Like, the first time you get the rematch, okay, because you were a long reigning champion, you defended your belt 7 times, but you got it back, lose it. No, that credibility is kind of gone as the dominant champ now, right? So, simple answer, Manon moves on to the next. Gabby said, do you think Verna should get the title shot regardless of her not fighting Suarez? Yeah, I think so. I think Verna at this point, real quick. Oh, okay, Brian. Brian said, thanks. You got a deal. All right, see you later, man. Yeah, Gabby asked, do you think Verna should get the title shot regardless of her not fighting Suarez? Yeah, I did a video on it and I already kind of talked about it. I think Verna's earned enough. She's done enough to earn a title shot now, especially if something's going to happen like this. You know, if somebody gets injured, you got to move on down, right? That's the whole purpose of the ranking system, you know, to know who can be next. As far as, of course, who fights their way up. But once your top 2 say they've already lost their chance, you know, they already lost, or an injury happens, you got to move on down, right? So you go on to the next credible opponent, which is Verna. And Verna has a resume to stand on. You know, Verna, it's not like Verna is 2-1 or something like that. You know, she's earned 4 wins. You know, Verna's got 4 wins in a row right now. And she's beat some good, credible opponents to get there. Angela Hill, Marina Rodriguez, Lupi, and Amanda Lemos. She finishes Amanda Lemos too, you know. She finished somebody that Wei Lee beat, right? So she's done more than enough. I think she's done more than enough. And like, if Suarez gets hurt or she's injured or she can't fight, that's not fair that Verna has to sit out and wait for Suarez to recover. Because what if Suarez doesn't recover? No, you got to move on by. Like, hey, I wanted to see Suarez get her shot, but when Suarez gets hurt, we just don't know what's going to happen. So Suarez got to step aside. Verna gets her shot. Like, I think Verna, yeah, she's done enough. I think she should get it now. Like, if this fight is canceled and they can't reschedule no later than January, go ahead and give Verna her shot. Gabby said, you think with a win over Verna, Whaley can move up and fight at 125? Let's see. That would be how many title defenses? She beat Lemos, Jan, and say Verna. I think if Suarez doesn't come back in time for that one fight, I think Weili could take her chance at a move up to 125. But that move up to 125, it can't disrupt Manon versus Valentina. Okay. Like, I wouldn't mind it. All right. I will say that. Look, as long as it doesn't disrupt Manon's title shot, I think Weili could move up. But first, she's got to beat Verna. And by then, Manon and Valentina have already fought. So in the meantime, while Verna's fighting her, that title fight will happen. So once that happens, if she wants to move up, she done her 3 title defenses, sure. I think it'd be fine then. Unless Suarez is ready for that fight, but I'm not sure if she will be, right? We don't really know right now. So if Tatiana's not in that mix, then she could do 125. Would she try to fight Manon at 125? Manon beats Valentina? She probably would, but I don't know if she'll beat her. But as long as she gets her shot first, Manon does, then that's fine with me if she wants to step in there. And she's kind of cleaned out her division. Because I'd like to see her at least get that 4th title defense, Suarez and Verna. But if she gets that 3rd and Suarez ain't around, then like she could. Weili already going to move up and get an interim match with Verna will be made. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. But on that note, y'all, those are good questions, Gabby. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in chat. We always have some good conversation. For some of y'all new people, that come over, this is how we always do. We just be having some breakdowns, and not mental breakdowns, but fight breakdowns. I mean, sometimes we get a mental breakdown, not from me, but from some people in the chat, right? Some people in the chat get a mental breakdown, but we always have good conversation for y'all new people. But for the new ones, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. Shout out to Tiago. He said, according to Forbes, it's unclear if she's injured or potentially being saved for a championship opportunity against Weili at UFC 311 in January. That's wild. It might be. That's why, that's why she probably hadn't said too much. Like, she said it wasn't an injury, but she's kind of, mum on it. So they might be planning something. We'll see. But all right, y'all, I'll catch y'all on Friday. If y'all are around, maybe we'll do some talk Friday. Maybe an open link show if y'all want to talk. But I will be on Saturday to call these fights because this is going down. 3 flyweight fights. So once again, it's been your close this out. Once again, y'all, it's been y'all's favorite WMMA podcast. #CB99 Talks. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.